Hey everybody, how y'all doing this morning? Jeff here, East Texas A-Easy. Hey, today's video we're going to go ahead and we're going to tear into the carburetor on my little girl's KFX90 four-wheeler. I believe the pilot jet's clogged up. A lot of people call it the slow speed jet. Some people call it a pilot jet. Initially it will start, but it will not idle. As soon as you let off the idle, it dies, and then it takes quite a bit to get it started again, and so forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear into this little carburetor. We're going to clean it out. We're going to reinstall it, and then we're also going to install the fuel filter just to make sure that no gunk is getting past that. These jets are super small, and anything can clog them up. So anyway, don't go anywhere, and hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. What you're going to need to do is you need to loosen this clamp. You have two 8mm nuts here and here, spacer. Okay, you have the throttle cable that you're going to need to loosen up. The electric solenoid, I think it's like more of an automatic choke. I'm not sure because there is no choke on this bike. Your fuel filter is right here. We're going to replace that too. It doesn't look like it has a clamp on it. That's not a good thing. We missed that when we rebuilt this thing. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our tools together, and we're going to get this thing taken out and disassembled. Just going to squeeze these two little points together. Careful, because if there is gas in this line, it could splash in your face. Pull this out. Okay. Generally, if I wasn't replacing the fuel filter, I would just pull it from here. Okay. So we're just going to pull that anyway. Okay. So that's one less thing to get in the way. Said before, this is all attached. You have a Phillips here and another one back over here on this choke body. All right. So this hose is attached to the other side. We'll pull all this off once we remove the carburetor, including the throttle cable linkage. Loosen this up. And just get it kind of loose. These bolts are nuts. Pretty nice. And then do the same for the other side. But I'm using a ratcheting wrench. Probably get in there with a socket. But you want to take off all the hoses first. So, now what's nice is those are actually bolts, not nuts. So there's no flange here. So you just basically slide it out. You've got this O-ring goes up against the intake. Okay, this is flat, but there is a gasket on the carburetor flange. Okay, so what you're gonna do is put that to the side. Just kind of pull on the carburetor, just like that, and be careful not to get the flange. This plastic cap comes off. Undo these two screws for this right here. Careful not to lose these little tiny screws. Pull straight up. This is what I'm talking about. Electronically controlled. I believe that's an automatic choke, electric choke. Try to let this fall sideways. Turn this cap counterclockwise. pull straight up, set to the side, and take it to the bench. All right. So, AutoZone for carb cleaner. Walmart was closed last night. I went into town. Not too bad. It's about the same price. It's on sale right now for like $2.49 for a can, so it's not too bad. Right. So then also, everybody knows being on the range, I love to use diesel because it's just readily available. So diesel is a great solvent like kerosene, but I don't have any kerosene, so I use diesel to clean chains and everything else. So we got our diesel here. I don't know what happened to my spout. Okay. Here's the inline filter we're going to replace. Also, to clean the jets, this is a tip cleaner for acetylene torch. So it's got, without bending them, it's got, I lost it. Oh well. It's got all kinds of tip clean sizes in it. Okay. And then for the even smaller ones, I believe this is like a 6-gauge wire. Okay. You can use one wire for the clogs that aren't too bad, or you can put a couple together. Okay. Problem is, it's so soft that they like to bend when you put pressure on them. So, but anyways, that's basically that. So let's get this carburetor poured into. So, like I said, I like to try and keep the fuel in the bowl. Break them loose. See, here's another. Okay, phew. Like I said, these things love to get rounded out. So we're gonna, without trying to spill gas, it's kind of hard to show you guys the screws, okay? Just kind of loosen them up. Yeah, there's gas in it, okay? I know the angle's bad, guys, but I'm trying to keep it flat because I don't want gas to fall out. You can just let the screws fall in here. You're gonna lift the body straight up, okay? Okay, the float's moving. Got gas in it, okay? Check it out a little bit. Don't see really anything floating around in there, so that's a good sign. Okay. Gasket looks, might be time for a rebuild kit on this because the gaskets all look kind of flat. So I think I'll go ahead and order a gasket kit. I told you guys that carburetors for these things are really expensive. You're looking at $220+. And also, the other thing I want to mention is, and the rebuild kits are about 30 bucks. Other thing I really want to mention is make sure you got a clean work surface. Okay. Oh, look, that pin's almost backed all the way out. Okay. We're not going to mess with the float at all because it ran good. Okay. Now, if you were to have a problem, let's say with gas coming out the overflow or it running out of fuel, this little tab, I don't know if I can show it. This is the fuel valve, basically. It's kind of it's a metering valve is what they call it, I guess. But this little tab right here, this is your needle. Okay, this goes up and down. Oh, it sticks. So this goes up and down. Okay, this right here dictates how much fuel comes into the bowl. So if this is all the way up, it closes this valve off, so fuel can't come into the bowl. Okay, a lot of the times this gets stuck, and that's your problem. Like tapping with a screwdriver or something like that while it's on the bike will fix it because it'll drop down. Now, if that doesn't, if you're getting gas coming out the back into the air box and so on, actually this is the back, if you're getting gas, like when you stop it and let it sit and you get gas puddle out or you get gas in the air box, it's more than likely this, and by bending this up and down, you can control how much that needle opens. I'm not taking it apart right now because I'm not having a problem with it. Like I said before, I believe it's this jet right here, which is the slow idle jet. It's also referred to as a pilot jet, and this is your main jet, okay? This jet right here, when you start it in idles, that's where you're pulling your fuel from. This jet right here, which being the main jet, is a jet that pulls the gas when you're under acceleration. So so you gotta be careful. See how that's stuck like that? See that? I gotta figure out why that's sticking, so I may just mess with that anyway. Anyway, flip it over. It's gonna be a flathead screwdriver. Careful, because these are brass and they will strip very easily. This is the culprit, I think, right here. All right, so this right here actually It's 2 pieces. It should be 2 pieces, so you can change these out. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but see how I nicked it a little bit? You gotta be real careful, guys, because you don't want to screw this up. Okay? But it goes all the way through. And what you can do is you'll take it out to the sun or a light and look through this end, and you should see light, okay? This one, not so much. I don't know if you can see how little those holes are? See them right there? They are tiny. I mean tiny. To where this little wire, that wire barely fits through there. That's how little they are. You're gonna chase these holes. We're gonna try. There we go. So, okay, well, that's not the end of the world. So chase that. Now again, guys, be really careful, okay? Because this crap can get in your eyes. That's why you gotta wear safety glasses. Move that. Oh, you see that? You see that? I got some, okay, just really small. I don't know if you can see that, but get a good seal. All right. See how I got a squirt through there? I got it all over my camera too. So that means it's just a very, very, very small hole in there. Smaller than anything I got. Okay? But that's good. That means that's cleared out because that's breathing good. We're going to go ahead and hit this one. See that? Okay? And we're just going to go ahead and just to make sure there's nothing. This shit will go everywhere, guys. I just like to spray it anywhere there can be crap. All right. So now look, see the float's moving a lot more, still sticking. Okay, we're just gonna take this out real quick. Do not bend anything, okay? Now here is what I was talking about. See that little valve, little needle right there? I'm gonna clean that off. Okay, so now you're gonna reinstall it. Very carefully reinstall it without bending anything, okay? It's an awful long rod for that little piece. Yeah, see it's moving a little more freely now? See that? See that? Much better. All right, now you're gonna, okay, main jet. Pilot, low airspeed jet. Remember, don't use a lot of force to put these in. You just barely need to seat them, okay? A little bit. Not too much, and you can use a wrench on the main. That's good enough right there. Okay, now you've got this little intake right here. It's going to line up with this right here. So they're a little bit longer, but not a big deal because, like I said, the bottom is open on these carburetors, so it should go right through. So you'll have no problem with it. Your best bet, to be sure, just take your old screw with you to the hardware store, so you make sure you get the right one. I do this on every single carbureted bike that I have. Okay, that's the first thing I do when I do if I do any kind of carburetor work. Just because, like I said, the screws they'll get screwed up. Like I said, just a little bit longer isn't a big deal at all. I'll show you why. See, that's what I was talking about right there. See how it comes through? Make it a lot tighter seal. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall it in the exact opposite way that we took it apart. Alright, okay, so this, oops, gas everywhere. Alright, so we're going to start off with this. Look at the flow of fuel. Look at that, see that right there? That's saying this is the flow for the fuel. See the arrow on here? Okay, so this is coming from the tank to the carburetor. Okay, so it's opposite of this one. So you're going to do this one. Okay, and let's try and find it. So basically, what I did was put the pick through here, through these holes, to line them up, to open it up, and then that way we'll leave it in there. Careful that you don't pinch or you don't poke a hole in this fuel line, okay? Just got to work it to get it over that clip. There we go. There we go. Make sure you didn't put any holes in anything. Looks good. All right, there we go. And that ain't gonna come off. So, okay. And that's how we install the fuel filter on here. Now make sure this goes in that little hole. There we go. Okay. Now there's a channel that this locks into. So you gotta slide it in. It's hard to see it, but it's towards this bottom edge, okay? So you're gonna turn this. See? Now, if you don't have this lined up right, okay? See, that's all it goes down? That isn't in right, okay? Don't force it. You're gonna want to turn it, and you're gonna want to line that up. See how it just went right in? This doesn't need to be tightened with tools either. Bam, you're done, okay? Now for the fun part, which isn't that bad. You're gonna go back and then worry about the front, okay? Oh, and make sure it's on all the way. Okay, and then this, we're gonna move this. There we go. We're gonna put this towards the top. So much easier to get to. Okay, now you're gonna make sure it's a good seal. I blew it. I did not check to make sure the fuel float was right. By shaking it, I can do that. I'll do it real quick. I'm just gonna. That way we don't have to pull that bad boy all the way out again. Come on, baby. Come on out there. See, you can hear it? That means the float is freely moving in there. Okay? Better to find out now than put it back together and have to take it apart again. Okay, now remember, this side right here doesn't have the O-ring. It goes up against the carburetor body. Jiggle it if you have to. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side. I'm not going to move the camera. Okay, you just do this the same with the other side. Not real tight. So don't forget this boot. fuel line. Carb cleaner. Oop. Don't get this piece. Don't worry about air leaks. What you're doing is you're spraying carb cleaner. If there's any air vacuum leaks or anything, you'll notice an increase in the RPMs. Everything looks good. So like I said, last step, hit it with the same carb cleaner all over the parts where the air, you can get a vacuum leak or an air leak, and if the RPMs pick up, then you've got an air leak or a vacuum leak somewhere. So make sure you hit it with some carb cleaner on your initial startup. Make sure it's warm enough where you're able to keep the idle up enough to where it won't die, like I just did. Excuse me. Anyways, I want to say thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell so you get future notifications. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a little bit long-winded, but this one I really couldn't speed up because there was a lot of material that needed to be explained. Anyways, again, have a great day.